Hello friends, this is Jiftesh from Encrypt Digital. In the previous videos of our deployment series, we looked into how we can deploy Flask app and API into the production in Docker. So this is the Flask stock application which we deployed securely with HTTPS certificates and the API as well with the rate limiting. But this particular video is specifically on how we can take backup of our dockerize MySQL and how we can run via CronJob so that our backups can be taken automatically. Although we're going to use the MySQL container which we created in our series, and of course all the server is securely set up with the SSL certificates, but this video can be viewed entirely on its own. But like I mentioned, if you want to view how we set up the servers and the containers and everything, have a look at our previous videos and I will add a link. So let's start this one, guys. Let's log in into our production server, and then I'm going to check which of the Docker containers are already running for our application. I'm going to give my password, and these are all the containers we are running. So we want to take the backup for the MySQL. Now there are a couple of ways. So either I can do with the container ID, but container ID will keep on changing if we respawn the container. So that is that we don't want to do. We don't want to keep on amending our cron job when we run this cron job. The other way is we're going to amend our Docker Compose to give the container name. So like I mentioned, if you are coming to only to this video and if you haven't watched the previous one, then just make sure that you give the container name to your MySQL container. But if you're continuing from the series, let's update our Docker Compose file to our code, and then I'm going to take our containers down. Okay, now I'm going to update our Docker Compose YAML and then go to the MySQL, and I'm going to give the container name, container underscore name. You can name anything. I'm going to say C for container and MySQL. Control X and then Y and then enter to save. Now once that is saved, I'm going to run our container again. So let me clear this one. So sudo docker compose and then compatibility to run multiple containers. We looked into previous session, and then we're going to do up and then D for running in daemon mode. Okay, now it has spun up all the containers, and we can see that one by sudo docker ps-a, and we can see that now it is running with the name C MySQL. In order to take a backup, we need to do sudo docker exec and then the container name for MySQL. So we have given C MySQL, then user. So now this is the user bin and MySQL dump within the container, and then we're going to give the username, which is root, and password, which we are continuing from our previous series, which is Encrypt Digital. And then we're going to specify the database for which we want a backup. In our case is stocks, and then where we want the backup to be placed. So in our case, we're going to put into the code and backup file name as backup.sql. So let's run that. So it has created. So let's check. So ls, as you can see, there is a backup.sql. Let's quickly check sudo nano.sql. So all the dump is there. So all the tables, create table, and the commands to insert the data. So this is our complete backup. So if I control X to come out, so that's how we can take them manually. So now let's see how we can quickly run this command with a cron job so that we can schedule the backups regularly. If you haven't got the cron on your server, then you can install it. Sudo apt install cron. So I've already installed. Once you have done that one, so you can do cron tab -e, and it will open in your editor, and I have already added a line. So basically I will uncomment this one, and what you need to do, you will not have this line, so what you can add is the cron. So I will not go into much in detail about the cron, but I'm assuming, so basically star 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 means that our cron job will run each and every minute. If I want to run every 30 minutes, then it will be /30, and then every 30 minutes it will take a backup. For now I'm going to do for every minute, so you give star star star, and then the next thing we need to give is how we're going to take a backup, which we just did with via manually. So sudo docker exec and the container name of the MySQL, and then this is where if you don't have created a container name, then you have to give the container ID, but in our case we have given the container name. And then same we had just discussed, user bin MySQL team, and then complete, and then that's how you save. Control X and say Y and enter. So once this is done, so it will run, and we can see that one in our, so it should save in our, so let's say ls-l. So the last backup was created 2303. So let's wait, it should, it's been 1 minute, so let's quickly check. So as you can see, it's been updated, and then it should update at 2320. Let's check again, and as you can see now it is 2320. So 2303 one was which we run manually, and then these ones are which we running via the SQL. So that's all guys, that's how you can take a backup. See you in our next bonus day. Cheers.